1 ticket. I have 10 remaining. Fantastic. Oh, it's under preparation. Oh, I can't join while it's under prep? Oh, okay. Alright, either way, guys. So, they're in the middle of their prep stage right now. That will take 30 minutes, I think. Let me just make sure I check that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, since we're getting people joining right now, I'm going to go over some strategical things that you could be doing during this prep stage. Otherwise, this is going to be just dead air for 30 minutes. So I'm going to pull up a graphic really quick for you guys. Let me pull up my OBS real quick. And alright, so everyone should be able to see that. I'm just going to make sure it goes through on the live chat. After that, I'll go over a couple of the strategies here. Let's see what we got. Yep, okay, so it is coming through. So this is just a quick little thing here that I've seen through my preparation stages. There's a whole lot that goes on. You think, oh my god, 30 minutes. That's so much time. Why do I need that much time? You need that much time. You sometimes wish you had more, especially with there be some technical difficulties here and there, login issues. You really want to have that extra buffer. So we're going to start the list here. I'll highlight these things here. I'm not sure if you can actually see it highlighted. I'll see in a couple seconds. And by the way, you guys can do this in any order you guys want. But the first thing that I do is, okay, it does actually highlight. You want to activate your SVIP. You start at SVIP 6, and that gives you a whole slew of things you can do. I'm actually going to hit that right now on my game. We're going to scroll all the way on over to SVIP 6. All right, going over. 5, 6. Okay, so these are all things that you get with that. You get a rally upper limit, which is probably the biggest thing, because the rallies are your most important thing throughout whatever you're doing. You get 60,000 more troops within your rally limit. So if you don't have that activated, that's 60,000 troops that your limit is no longer holding. A couple other things in here. You have your accelerated Q march. Enhanced training speed, 10%. That's a big one too, because when you're training up your troops and you have a limited amount of gold, we'll go over that later, you really want to make sure you have everything else. Plus all the base attack stats. You want all of that. It is possible to get to SVIP 7, but that's the base you start on. 7 gives you an additional 5% training speed, a couple of a rally limit of 10,000 more. So some people may want to invest in that if they feel like they have enough gold at the end. But if not, just make sure you go over to click to activate and just do the 1 day. You don't need to do anything more. The 60-minute really isn't enough because your prep stage will take up 30 minutes of that. So unless you have very quick fingers and you just want to hit it as soon as the thing starts, just do the 1 day. You're not missing out on much gold if you do it that way. At least that's what I found. So that's one thing. Activate SVIP. Then you want to hatch your dragons. They give you all of your dragons at 30, at level 30. You have all of your abilities activated. So you want to go on over here to where your dragon cage is. I don't have that right now. It's a brand new castle. But you see as you usually go, you have like the 3 eggs. The black one, the blue one, and the red one. You want to make sure that the red one is active. And the reason behind that is it's got great power. But also what I use it for is the Circle of Life ability. And that increases your hospital capacity by a certain amount. I forget the exact amount off the top of my head, but that's the one that I use. When you have 5 or 6 lines of stuff going and you have things being constantly battered away, you want to have the highest limit in your hospital as possible so that you have a little bit of extra buffer room for when you go and heal it. If you exceed it, those troops are lost, and that is no bueno. So hatch your dragons, activate the red one. Your next one is you want to get your Dragon Wards ready. And again, I don't have that over here, but everyone should know what the Dragon Stones are. You have different level ones, 1 through like 25. And if you have 2 of like level 1, you can fuse it over to level 2. You start with a whole bunch of level 10s. And what people are going to be doing in this match, obviously, is they're going to want to get 2 different abilities. And I have that right here, Boot Camp and Quenching. For you guys who don't know, Boot Camp will increase the speed of your production of your troops, which in the grand scheme of things isn't really that big because you're not waiting a day for troops to come through, but it does help when you're using the gold to instantly bring them up. Every little bit counts in this, so make sure Boot Camp is activated for that. And then Quenching, once you're all done with Boot Camp, once you've trained everything, activate Quenching, because that's the highest Dragon Ward you can possibly get with this combination in the quickest amount of time. What I usually do to get these combinations is you start with a level 10. Like I said, they give you a whole bunch of level 10s. you want to disassemble 2 at a time, going 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way over to like 3 or 2 or something like that. Once you have that, you can fuse the rest in the other categories, going up to quenching, which I think is like level 15 or 16. I think it's 15. And you just make sure that you have one in each stone. You'll be able to see. It'll tell you, and it's very forgiving. You can always go back or forward if you need to. With my nervous fingers, I was happy when I had that. So that's the Dragon Wards. Let's go over the next thing they'll probably be going over, which is the Purified Dragon Glass. This is also worthy to note. You don't have to worry about crafting a whole bunch of gear. They give you all of your gear already on you. I think it's a full piece Asylum set that's already on you, which no matter what you're doing, Asylum bonus is the best bonus in the game right now. Always remember that. We'll go into some advanced stuff later, but it's already equipped to you, and you have a level 30 gold Dragon Glass already on you. With the level 30 Dragon Glass, you want to... That sounded southern for a second. Sorry, guys. So, when you're purifying, and I'll show you guys over here, when you guys go over to your tavern... Oh no, it's not even going to show me. But you see where the little blue dragon glass thing is. You want to purify that so that you have archer damage and siege damage. The siege damage is not to be confused with the siege engine attack. Siege engine attack is just one troop. It's one type of troop. Siege damage gives you attack throughout the board. So you really want to make sure you have the high archer damage, as I think Daydreams calls it. It's the roulette wheel, because you have to keep hitting the button. You see all the pretty colors, and each color has a different type of rarity and how big it is. So just make sure your archer damage is really high on that. The siege damage is nice. That's like icing on the cake. When you're going through your roulette wheel and you see finally whatever number it is for archer damage, you want to hit the little lock button on the left hand side. That locks it in place, and that keeps it so that the numbers keep going up while you don't lose the attributes, and you can keep searching for your siege damage. Remember, not siege engine, siege damage. I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, because I had a huge one in one. It was like 15% archer damage, and it was like 14% siege engine. I'm like, I got it, guys, I got it. And they're like, no, you didn't, Willbender. You really didn't. I'm like, shit. So we didn't get that. So that's one thing you want to do during the prep stage. Let's go on to the next one. You have your hero positions. So in here, this is I'm on the regular server right now, so I can't really see the plus sign for the castle. But you want to make sure that your heroes are properly placed. You want to have a couple for marching, but you want to have a couple situated, one in your castle, one in your walls at least. For those guys who are familiar with your heroes, I think the guy's name's Rufus. He's the really big-looking guy. You want him in your castle. The reason why you want him in your castle, I'll highlight that for you guys, is because he's going to really bring up your hospital capacity. I think it's like 90k or something like that. You want him instantaneously in there, no questions asked. Then there's an older looking dude. You want him in your walls. Out of all the ones between Thornflower, Bernard, and this old guy whose name eludes me, he gives you the highest archer output. Which, by the way, remember I told you guys, your Lord has full Asylum set. All your heroes come wearing armor as well. So you don't have to... There's more advanced options where you can get better armor, obviously, but they already come pre-selected. If you start running out of time, you can fall back on that. But you want your old guy in the walls. He gives you the archer damage. You can have an optional hero in the drill grounds. Actually, I don't think this small level has it, but oh, it is right here. Okay, so drill grounds. You want to have someone. You might want to have someone stationed there. Just consider it, because it will increase your march size. I've read conflicting things where people are like, the march size doesn't matter that much because you have so much coordination and blah, 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 blah. I tend to agree with that a little bit. In the first match, I had one in there, and in the second match, I didn't. So the first match, I only had one hero marching. I didn't really want that because I wanted to have at least 2 heroes going towards Crystalline, which is like the main middle source. And it just boosts everything. So use your discretion. If you'd rather have one in the drill grounds, by all means, go for it. And if you don't, then you know you have 2 marches. You have your Thornflower and you have your Bernard. So those are just optional things you can think about. Let me bring this down a little bit. So now we're going to get into troop training. Like I said, guys, you don't have to do this in any particular order. This is just the order that I thought of it in. But troop training, you want to get... well, actually, I added that in the wrong area. Okay, we'll talk about this anyway. So 50k buff Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is right. This is right. I'm sorry. I'm messing up. You get a buff, and I'm actually gonna see if I can pull it up in the store really quick. War. Not the war. I think it's just the buff. No. That's really odd. Okay. Either way, there are boosts that you automatically get in the match that give you 50,000 troops, single troop training, and then they also give you like 30,000 points. You want to use those to get at least one of each. So you want to get your barracks, stables, siege engine, and range. You want to have a 50k boost to all those instantaneously, and then use your gold. I'm actually going to trade some really quick so I can show you guys. Then you want to use your gold right here where it says 10 speed up. Just hit that button. You get no troop speed ups. Your gold is your only way to get it instantaneously. So you want to do a 50k boost to all of these, at least, so you have a little bit of extra comfort room. I guess it is worthy to note, when you do start these, you do get a certain amount of troops. I think it was like 1 million T10 Berserkers, and then it was like, I think 50,000 of all the other ones, T10, all T10. But you still want to get a few extra because you don't know if you're going to lose any from all your battles, if your hospital capacity goes over. And you just want to have that extra buffer already. So I say at least use the 50k buff for one of each, so that's 4 of those already. And then after that, you want to use another 50k on archers and berserkers. Archers are your bread and butter. I don't care what anyone says. Actually, no one who plays the game for more than 2 months should be arguing this point. Archers are your main damage people. They do everything, especially P5. They get that buff. In these matches, we don't worry about P6 troops or the Delphiers or anything like that. But you want to make sure you have that extra archer so you can just keep sending in with the formation. Just flood them with archers. And the berserkers, because they are your meat shields. They hold up their shields, and yada, yada, yada. We don't see that in game, but whatever. Then I also make sure that I train 100k Eagle Archers for better compositions, and then optionally you can train 50 to 100k Guards. Again, this just rounds out your composition. This was all provided within a big, there was a big spreadsheet that they gave to the LA players, and some of those guys were feeding that information to me, so those are pretty good. But let's get into some more fun stuff here. Let's get into the troop formation. We have another 18 minutes until this begins, so I think we're making pretty good time here. Troop formation. Again, this is all speculation. This is all theory crafting. These numbers that I'm highlighting here are not set in stone. It's not, if you don't have this, you're gonna fail. Absolutely not. This is just a well-rounded number that we all came up with in our test groups and everything that we did. So you want to make sure you're. Oh, okay. So if you're looking in the game here, and you press the little banner that I'm sort of wiggling around over here at the bottom left, you have your formations. And again, small castle can't really do it, but where it says troops in castle, there would normally be little tiny icons where you could set your formation. Then you just hit that button when you're about to rally and send it, and you don't have to like scroll the little things across, like say, oh, I want to send that many. It just instantly has that preset for you. So when you're doing that, you want to set 30,000 berserkers, which are your T10 front linemen. Those are your infantry. You want to have 30k divine knights. That's your cavalry. 20% harbingers. Those are your T9 front linemen. You want to also have 20k mighty trebuchet. That's your siege engine T10. 120k marksmen. And you see these numbers are lopsided. You want to have more archers. You just want to flood archers. When I'm in my normal castle, it's usually about half of these because I don't have all the buffs as a P6 would have. But it's still very close to about 100k marksmen that I'm sending in my rotation. So you want to have that. 50k Eagle Archers, and then 20k miscellaneous. It's a possible spot for your guards. I didn't really put those in here. But that is a basic formation here. That will get you about 300k. I know someone's doing that going, you're not doing that bad for a Willbender. Well, just fill the rest out with marksmen. That's my default. If there's anything left in your march, fill it with marksmen. Send the damage, send the pain. I didn't write this down here, but one of our guys came up with a really good suggestion. When we were trying to reinforce some of the nodes and everything, it was really good that we brought about 100,000 marksmen, 100,000 berserkers, and 100,000 T9 infantry. They just apparently have the best attack to block percentage, and it actually did. We actually saw a lot of our rallies hold because at least the people in our Skype channel were. We don't really know what the rest of our team was doing, but the rest of that team was sending in 300,000 evenly between T10 archers, T10 berserkers, T9 infantry, and it did wonders. It was a great thing. Side note thing here, you want to make sure that you buy your 20% attack and defense buffs. I do believe I can show you those in the store here, and I can. Okay, so you see it's right here, just 12-hour attack bonus, 12-hour defense bonus. That doesn't come within your items, sadly, so you have to buy those with gold, just one, and you instantly start applying those. What it does come with, and I write that down here with do not buy, is you want to have your active march boost buff. And that's your little guy with the plus sign here. I believe you even get one of the higher ones, which is not here, but that increases your march size exponentially. I believe they give you the 50% buff. But it's important to note that at least in these test servers, they did not provide us with the attack and defense ones. You have to buy them. They are important. 20% is a huge deal. Make sure you have it. Now we'll go into a little bit of the equipment forging. I'm going to be honest, this is the one part that I am really severely lacking in, at least when it comes with the items. So, like I said, the test groups came with pre-items. You were already wearing full piece asylum. Your heroes were also wearing a whole bunch of gear. So you don't have to worry about, if you don't want to worry about it, you can just go like that. It's mediocre. It works. But if you have the ability to forge items, and you can, this is one of my one of my Chinese friends in the alliance I was with. He showed us his gear, and I can't find a single composition bed that's better than this. So you want to make sure you have 4-piece asylum. The 4-piece bonus is just immaculate. I can't show you again. I probably should have been on my main castle for this one, but that's okay. If you want to look it up, just go to your blacksmith, go to the equipment sets, scroll all the way down, you'll see the asylum. Look at that 4-piece set bonus and start drilling. It's amazing. So you want to have that, and you want to make sure that you have the helm, the pants, the ring, and the boots. They all give archer damage, and they all contribute to the 4-piece set. So why not the 6-piece set? Well, the 6-piece doesn't really help you that much. It's nice for normal gameplay, but it's not ideal for what we're using these things for. We're going for pure stats. When I mean pure stats, I mean pure archer stats. You want them archer stats, trust me. So in place of the asylum chest, you want to craft the 43 chest. It's called, it's Peerless something. It's Peerless Armor, I don't know what it's called. But it has the highest archer stats out of all the chest pieces that you can make. That's not like a set piece. So you want to go with that. And then what may look weird to some people who are just getting into the game, a level 35 bow. It's called the compound bow. Why am I saying choose level 35 when we're going for max stats? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has 4 different stats, and 2 of which is archer damage. Go figure. I forget what the other 2 are because they just aren't that important to me right now. But 2 of the 4 stats are literally archer damage, blah, 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 archer damage, blah, 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 blah. You want to make sure you have that. In gold, obviously. If not, you can just make something else. But that's, and again, this is hardly an exact science. This is my opinion. This is what I've seen a lot of players use, especially people within my alliance who is winning a lot of the World Cup right now, getting me a lot of buffs, considering I'm not playing during their mainland time. But that's basically all of the things that they're doing right now. For those of you guys who are just joining, I went over an entire list of the prep stage. We are currently waiting for, it's rank 7 RED versus rank 8 ROK. They're both 100% win rates. I'll actually go over here and scroll so you guys can see that now.